was a devastating day on April 29, 1992. I'm introducing the skit that we're going to perform right now, but this is just some background information on the LA riots. The city of Los Angeles faced a devastating riot. The riot was sparked by the quitting of the 4 Los Angeles Police Department officers accused in the beating of an African-American motorist named Ronnie King. All of Los Angeles was affected. However, the Koreatown community faced a lot of damages, and 53 people died out of the LA riots. Thousands were injured. Property damage were worth over $1 billion. And the Koreatown community affected very greatly by the LA riots. So. Breaking news. Earlier today, the jury acquitted the 4 officers who were charged for brutally beating Ronnie King after a high-speed chase. The riot has broken out in the city of Los Angeles.
April 29, 1992, the day we call society. I always know it's like this. Some people say I'm a wise ass, pompous, snobby, but I think of myself as confident, not arrogant, because there's a fine line between the two. When I was 18, I packed a duffel bag and a suitcase, got on a plane, and moved to the States, a land of opportunity. I was a foreign exchange student at UCLA with a full ride because some psychoanalyst believed I would one day find a cure for cancer, which by now, I think I'm pretty close. When I stepped into campus, I knew that my hard work and career was paying off. I had the opportunity to be first in my family, to be something different. As I grew more comfortable in LA, 2 quarters had gone by. It was the final stretch of my freshman year, April and June, and I went for a drive on my own around Koreatown, oblivious to the current local news because I could barely speak English. All I knew how to say at that time was, "Hello, how are you? My name is Edwin. Oh, and lastly, do you know where bathroom is?" Anyway, I was on the corner of West and Pico, about to pull into the swap meet, when a mob of guys ran towards my car. I immediately locked my door. They came at me with a bat and swung at my windows. I tried my best to duck underneath the seat, but this goddamn steering wheel wouldn't budge. All I could do was duck and shield my face. They opened my car and yelled at me, "Get out! Get out!" They grabbed me by the shirt and pulled me out of the car. They dragged me across the parking lot as I screamed, "Please! Please!" A group of 3 began to punch me, kick me, beat me. Showed me that starting a new life in America wasn't going to be so easy. That day, the swap meet was completely torn down. The people on the floor, helpless, crying out, it moved me. 8 years after, I graduated and began my residency at Kaiser Permanente, and I've been aiding six since then. Perhaps I should be grateful for the LA riots, for bringing me to become one of the top biomedical research engineers. But I will say, the LA riots changed my life.
Breaking news. It has been confirmed today that as many as 2,000 people have been injured during the riots. It appears to have greatly impacted the central to south central Los Angeles.
I'd rather not share this story. It's a day I've tried to block off for many years, but it always finds its way back to haunt me. A friend convinced me to stand here today to educate you through my life story, so what the hell, I'll share it with you. I was born and raised in Los Angeles. I went through the LA University public school system and received my associate's degree at LACC. I'm just a average Joe type of woman. You know, minded my own business, did my own things. Not much of a social person. Until I met this man who stole my heart by promising me he'll show me the world. I know, pretty cliche, but I fell for it. By 21, I was married. And by 25, I was pregnant. My husband didn't do a lot of showing me the world, besides buying me an atlas. But we were in love and we were content with our lives. On April 29, 1992, I went out to run a few errands and do a little shopping. I headed over to that place, by Pico and Western. You know the place, minding my own business. I was into my second trimester of pregnancy, so I had to buy myself some new stretchy pants. Out of nowhere, I hear screaming and yelling. I frantically look around at all people who were telling me to run, but I was too flustered to think. A group of men came in with lighter fluid and matches and began to set the place on fire. They were screaming and yelling. I began to panic. These two large black men grabbed my arm and pushed me against the wall. I will never forget the looks they gave me. It seemed like they wanted vengeance through me. With their knives, they grazed down my neck, my body, and stopped right at my stomach. And I let out a scream. And they stabbed me. I was in such a state of shock, I swear I heard a gunshot. I was sent to the hospital. I survived, but my baby didn't. I suffered through depression for 3 years, until I gathered up enough willpower to restart my life. My husband stayed by me the entire way through. Did the LA riots change my life? You tell me.
Update on the LA riots. After the deployment of National Guards, the U.S. Army and the U.S. Marines, the riots have settled and is now in control. It has been confirmed that 53 people have tragically lost their lives.
I don't have much time here, so I'm going to go straight into it. I was the youngest and boldest in my family to say my adieus and fly across the Pacific as an immigrant to America. I was 22 then, and when I set foot on American soil, I wanted to accomplish one thing. You see, I wasn't really educated, and I came from a poor family. My father was in the military, and my mother was a stay-at-home parent with 6 little ones. I wanted my kids to have an opportunity to educate themselves and grow to be something more than me. I wanted to set a foundation and secure a good future for my family. A friend moved to America years before I got here, settled in and owned a liquor store. He was doing well for himself and he offered me to give me a lending hand. I did whatever he asked, whether it was to go on a delivery or to sweep the floor. I saved up money and years later, he introduced me to his friend, who offered me his clothing store and a local swap meet. I gladly took it, and it kept me going for many years. I was able to build a stable home for my family and my kids. It was a life I wanted to accomplish. On April 29, 1992, I opened up. My wife came out with me because she would always pack me these little cute lunches, packed so neatly in a cute basket. She would sit there with me to keep me company. You know, I used to love it when she and I sat there just listening to the Korean radio program while solving the daily games on the Korean newspaper. I'm sorry. I digress. On April 29th, a gang of people rushed into the swamp meet. My store was in the far back corner. They charged at us and started to set our stuff on fire. Hey, what are you doing?